Back in the 17th century, the idea of a woman's voice in public, well, it was basically unheard of. But one woman didn't just find her voice, she sold it. Yep, she wrote, she created, and she actually earned a living doing it. Today, we're going to get into the incredible story of Aphra Behn, who was England's very first professional female writer.
So let's just think about that for a second. We're talking about the 1600s, right? A woman's life path was pretty much laid out for her. Marriage, motherhood, or maybe the convent. So, could she actually choose a fourth option, a career? Could a woman really dare to make a living from her own words, her own ideas?
And the answer? Oh, it was a massive yes. See, one woman didn't just break the rules, she completely rewrote the rulebook. In a world that was basically hostile to her ambition, she used her talent, her wit, and her seriously sharp critiques to carve out a space that, honestly, just didn't exist for women before she came along.
That woman's name was Aphra Behn, and from 1640 to 1689, she wasn't just a writer, she was a total literary force. We remember her today as a pioneer, and for good reason. She was the first woman in England to truly live by her pen, proving to everyone that genius and ambition, yeah, that wasn't just a guy thing.
All right, so how did she do it? I mean, how did she become so successful in a world stacked against her? Well, a huge part of it was her incredible range. This wasn't a one-trick pony situation. She wasn't stuck in a single style. She was a literary powerhouse who could do it all.
I mean, look at this. She was a master of so many genres. She wrote smash hit comedies that had London audiences roaring. She penned these deep tragedies about political intrigue. She crafted poetry about love and desire with a frankness that was kind of shocking for the time. And as if that wasn't enough, she even helped pioneer the English novel. This was no side hustle, you know? This was a career, and she was crushing it.
Okay, to really get a feel for her talent, let's zoom in on one of her biggest hits, her play, The Rover. Now, on the surface, it was a hilarious blockbuster comedy. But underneath all the laughs, it was making a seriously radical statement about what women want.
So picture this. It's Carnival in Naples. It's wild, it's chaotic, it's the absolute perfect setting for all sorts of mistaken identities, romantic adventures, and, just generally breaking all the rules. And Behn used this incredible, vibrant backdrop to ask some really big questions about love, freedom, and the box women were expected to live in.
And this is where her genius just pops. Take the hero of the play, Helena. Society expected women to be quiet, to be obedient, right? Well, Helena is the exact opposite. She's witty, she's assertive, she's a total force of nature. Instead of just sitting around waiting for some guy to pick her, she goes out and actively chases her own happiness and her own desires. For an audience in the 1600s, seeing a woman like that front and center on stage, whoa. That was nothing short of revolutionary.
But Aphra Behn wasn't just about witty comedies. Not at all. She also dove headfirst into some of the most profound and frankly disturbing issues of her time. So let's shift gears now and talk about her novel Oroonoko. This thing was so groundbreaking, so ahead of its time, that we're still talking about it and studying it today. Now, get this. Decades, we're talking decades, before the abolitionist movement really got going, Aphra Behn published this story. It is one of the very first pieces of anti-slavery literature in English, and it takes this unflinching, humane look at the absolute brutality of the slave trade. She was using the novel, a popular form of entertainment, to make a powerful and, believe me, a deeply unpopular moral argument.
So the novel tells this absolutely heartbreaking story of Oroonoko. He's a noble African prince, a man of honor who's deeply in love. But his entire world is shattered when he's betrayed and sold into the horrifying slave system in Suriname. But even there, his spirit, it just refuses to be broken. He rises up, becomes a leader among the other captives, and fights for the dignity and freedom that were ripped away from him. It's an epic story, but it's also just deeply tragic.
And the themes she's wrestling with here are just so powerful. She completely challenges the racist stereotypes of her day by making Oroonoko a complex, noble hero. She digs into that universal human desire for freedom, and she exposes how the sheer greed of colonialism just destroys lives, families, everything. This wasn't just a story. It was a searing critique of a truly brutal system.
So, when you step back and look at the whole picture, the witty plays, the passionate poems, the groundbreaking novels, what does it all add up to? What is Aphra Behn's real, lasting legacy? I mean, why are we still talking about her hundreds of years later?
Simple. Because she was absolutely fearless.
She used her platform to tackle the biggest, thorniest issues of her day: gender inequality, the abuse of power, the injustice of slavery. And in doing that, she didn't just write great books and plays. No, she helped shape the entire conversation. She became a foundational figure for anyone, then or now, who believes that writing can actually change the world.
And maybe that's her most enduring impact of all. Think about it. Every single woman who picked up a pen to write professionally after her, from Jane Austen to Virginia Woolf, all the way to today's bestsellers, they all owe her a debt. Aphra Behn proved it was possible. She was the one who kicked the door down so that everyone else could walk through.
And all of this leaves us with one last really important question. Aphra Behn's story, her incredible contributions, they were almost lost to time, only rediscovered much, much later. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Whose stories are we still not hearing? How many other brilliant, trailblazing voices are just waiting there in the footnotes of history, ready for us to